Welcome back to the Wicked Thrifter Resell channel. We're back at Goodwill again today, and a couple of them, to see if we can find any items to buy and sell and flip on eBay for a profit. I'm starting out in our vase and pottery section. They didn't have much that I was interested in. They had this nice jar or canister, but the size of it deterred me from getting it. Now this is another day at another Goodwill. They had these art glass paperweights. They're like fish scenes. I ended up putting those back, even though they're only at $2.99 each. There's a lot listed, and it's about maybe $12 to $18 a piece. So I put those back because it doesn't meet my profit. The same thing goes for these plates. Now they're fused glass. They only wanted $1.99 a piece for these. There was no maker mark or signature. I chose to leave them at the store. This caught my eye, but it was damaged. And initially I put this in the cart. It is a die-cast John Deere plane. Die-cast items can be collectible, like this toy airplane. However, the comps currently sit at about $18 to $20, and some of them included shipping, so I left that behind. I'm just scanning the candle section to see if I can find any. Up at the top here is a crystal art glass holder of some sort. I don't know the brand or the maker of that, but it looked high quality. But I'm steering far away from just clear glass or crystal items unless I can, attribute it to a specific maker and find current comps that have a decent sell-through and profit. Here I'm checking out the figurine section. Again, very few items in this section are coming back with me. There are very few that I am on the lookout for when I'm at the store. I'm interested in learning more about certain makers. They can have like Heron and a few others that I'm running across a little bit more. Maybe it's just because I've heard more about them recently, but they're few and far between at a thrift store. I still scan it because if it looks neat, I'm going to look it up. Up here is an art glass angel, but it had some chipping and damage. Now is the time to start listing your Christmas stuff. People are going to start purchasing it if they haven't already, because they want to get it in time and be able to put it up. And a lot of people start decorating right around Thanksgiving. It's becoming more and more of a fad to decorate before Thanksgiving. I spotted this gourd paper mache or gourd Santa. It is really cute. I left it behind. It was $8.99, and the comps show that it doesn't bring in that much profit. I thought this would be worth more. Unfortunately, there was some damage. If it hadn't had the damage, I probably would have grabbed it. And because initially I thought it would probably be more like the $30 to $40, but it doesn't bring in that much. And these are Buyer's Choice, I believe is the name. Carolers. They have all kinds of dolls like this. Here they had a bunch. They weren't priced very high. Initially I put them in the cart. If you look up the comps, they weren't too terrible. So they can go anywhere from $18 and up. Some crazy, like $80. Some even more. But I just wasn't feeling it. I ended up putting them back. I didn't want to deal with dolls. And hopefully I didn't make a mistake. Like that one was pretty unique and unusual with the lamb or baby sheep. And they did have a bunch. These are some recent comps. Like I said, $18 and up. But they have about a 25% sell-through rate. So 1 out of 4 sell in 90 days. These are pretty neat looking. They are hand stitched and it's leather. Obviously a nativity piece, but I left it behind. And I was happy to find this piece. I wasn't finding very much on my shopping trips this day. This was only $4.99. You can see there it's signed. It's Peggy Carr. And granted, it's probably gonna net about $18 to $24 before fees. Here I'm just scanning the mugs, looking for some art pottery or unusual ones. I spotted this Studio A pottery. Either it's a tumbler or a little vase. I end up putting it back. It's only $3.99. But I do grab this. This is a wood little whimsical cat thread or spool sewing box. Could be just a trinket box too. They only wanted $6.99 for that. And this was a fun find. The Pyrex I got a little initially excited about. It didn't have a lid. I looked everywhere for it. And without the lids, I mean, maybe you could get $20 for it. With the lid or with additional pieces, they can go for a lot more. This is what I was excited about. This is a studio pottery piece by Randy Johnston. It's a potter. I'm not sure if it's regional to my area, but they go for decent money. This is like a little fairy lighter incense burner. There was no signature or maker's mark, so I left that behind. I thought this was pretty neat, a Winnie the Pooh double frame, but the comps are only currently about $18 to $29, and a lot of them with free shipping, so I left that. Little ghost ship, but had a lot of damage. A lot of the same stuff still on the shelves from prior shopping trips. You probably recognize a lot of it. I'm scanning the glassware and vase section at this store. Nothing really caught my eye, but let me know if you spot something that I did not. Little owl figurine. This kind of reminded me, I think it's Jonathan Adler makes some figurines or sculptures. Don't think that was it. And this is this new other store's section of figurines. I should have probably checked out that Noah's Ark piece. Noah's Ark pieces can do decent depending on the maker. It has a fairly large collector's market too. And here we're in the wood section. I'm just checking out some stuff, and they had a carved wood. I don't know. I believe this is a shepherd. There wasn't a signature, and it's olive wood, but I have so many olive wood pieces, I chose to show restraint and left it behind. And this looked fairly nice. It was sitting on the shelf. It had a nice glaze to it. It was really smooth and a nice feel to it. But I wasn't sure at $8.99, and I couldn't make out the mark on there. Now this is another store. This is one of my favorite stores to at least look at, if not really buy anything, because the prices are higher. On this curated shelf, they have a lot of what they think is more valuable pieces. This is a chintz set, but it's by Two's company or Two Company, and it doesn't have as huge of a resale as other brands or other makers. I'm just kind of giving you a scan of what they have and what they think is valuable. And this is another side of the shelf. Just looking it over, and they still had that metal shipped there for $59.99 a week later. I was happy to find this initially. I was going to grab it. The price wasn't too bad. However, the damage, when I was looking at it more thoroughly before checking out, it has so much calcification or buildup on it. I didn't think I could get it off, and that really does bring down the value on your glass if you can't get it clean. A little bit is okay, but I'm checking out the metalware. And then here's another shelf. I believe that one mug there is weighed, but I chose not to get it because they tend to take a long time to sell, if at all. Now these were kind of cute and I almost grabbed them, but I looked up comps, and I'll show in a second here why I did not grab them. For a whole set, it was like $50, and I didn't want to have to do all that work and pay close to like $30 to $40 to make $5. Now, I've bought and sold many of these clay art masks before. The more ornate and the more intricate the painting on the face is, they do better. The size also matters on them. There you saw one on the shelf. I did not grab that because it looked too plain to me. But then I spot these. I was going to grab them. I even put them in the cart. But for some reason, the ones without any cutouts, either in the eyes or the mouth, tend to do far less, and they tend to sell for far less than the others. I don't know. Hopefully I don't regret not picking these up, but I didn't find comps to be too high for these. It's kind of sad. None of this stuff I'm showing in the cart for you right now end up coming back with me to my home. Here I'm checking out another store's vases and pottery section. I do grab this. You can kind of see it has some embossed dragonflies on there. Sorry, dragonflies. And it was only $3.99, so I grabbed that. It's by Morris Pottery. And I was interested in this piece. I've come across pieces like this that have signatures, and you can kind of figure out who the maker is. This had a frog and a snake on it, and without a signature, maybe I should have grabbed it. But some of those pieces, they tend to sit for a long time unless you can say who made them. Here I'm checking out the glassware, and soon the mugs up here to check for some art pottery mugs. It's that time of year. People are drinking hot beverages, and a lot of times regifting or gifting very unique like pottery mugs as part of their gift. I'm checking out the Christmas section. Again, I said it's not too late. It's probably the perfect time to list anything that you've got Christmas. Once you get to Thanksgiving, I think it's kind of done. You can list it any time of the year and it will sell, but the market is there right about now up until just past Thanksgiving, in my opinion. I mean, other people might find it different, but and I was checking out this Santa card holder. It's by Midwest Imports. Hopefully I didn't miss the boat on this, but when I did check comps in the store, it only looked like it was like $24. And it was at $8.99. And it didn't meet my model. And unless I was going to keep it for myself, which would have been a possibility, but I chose to leave it behind. And this was like a Santa face, like resin thing that you would hang on a tree. or the wall or wherever you want, I guess, but it had separate eyes and a beard and a mouth. It's been getting harder and harder to find items out in the thrift stores. The peak season for me is clean out time for people. So after the holidays, starting in February generally, through the summer when people are having garage sales and dropping off their items at thrift stores to get rid of what doesn't sell, I find a lot of items. That was a little paperweight, wasn't a signature on it, so I left it behind. I'm trying to be careful and scan back over just to see if I can find anything to grab, because I think this whole day of shopping I only walked away with 4 or 5 items. And I'm thankful that I found those items, and I'm thankful that I'm being more selective and not buying miscellaneous items that don't sell. But I am relying more heavily on the estate sales and auctions. It's very important to find multiple sources for your inventory if this is going to be a full-time job for you. One last item I grabbed before leaving, I spotted it earlier in the shopping trip at the store. But again, like I've mentioned before, I'm not picking up a lot of pictures, but I chose to pick this one up because it had kind of a funny face on it. And I thought the mugs did decent, so I thought, well, I'll give it a shot on the picture. And it looks like someone donated a bunch of the angel figurines. It's not a bad idea to list those as well. Make sure that you're listing those items. It can be a nativity or a Christmas decor item. And I'm just scanning over the rest of it. And not much is catching my eye. But I think that's probably going to wrap it up. I want to say thank you for taking the time to watch the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will be back again next Sunday with a Thrift With Me video. Hopefully I can catch some more footage of some thrifting. Hopefully it's not as sparse next time. I would like to have a fill the cart video for you. But here's your recap. See you in the next one.